In this video, I'll show you how to make a banner that you can use on your opt-in pages, your sales pages, your website, Facebook, wherever you need an image. I'm going to show you some tips for using Pixlr to create that. So the first thing is when you go to Pixlr.com, you want Pixlr Editor. This is the one with the most options of those three choices. You've got a couple different choices you can go with here. Create a new image, open an image you already got, open an image from a website, from your library, or if you're on a mobile device, there is an app you can use. So we want to create a new image, and you want to put in here the size that you need it. So if I were going to do maybe a banner for a website, it would probably be something like 800 by 200. You might want to make it wider. You want to check what your template size is. If you're doing one for Facebook, check what size it is, but start with the right size here. So this is the canvas area that you've got to work with. And if you drag this corner out, you can get a little better view of what's going on. Here's the first thing that I want to show you how to do, and that is how to change your background color. You can do that by dragging a square over top of what you've got. Right? And it made it black because black is the color that's filled in right here. So to do a different color, you would just pick your color here. Let's say I want a dark red. Hit OK. And that's how you can change the color of it. And next, to add text, you just click on this little A letter and you put your text in the box. You can choose a font from the drop down here. Modify the size, the color, so you can pick some colors that stand out. Then to move it around, grab this tool right here. Looks like a little mouse with that four-way arrow on it. Alright, if you find out it doesn't quite fit, you can edit it. And change the size. Then to move it around, just change tools again. If you wanted to underline that, you could do it by creating another layer. So I'm going to go to Layer, New Layer, and then I can put a square or a line on here. There we go. See, and it's showing with the little black lines because it's set to have a border. You can change that to no border. We could change the color on it. Let's say we wanted to underline it in white. Now if I wanted to get rid of that, I didn't like it, I could uncheck that layer. That makes the layer invisible. And I can add a new layer to put my white line on. So let's say I wanted to make it wide enough to put some text on. I might do something like that and then put something else in here. And again, to move it around, you grab that tool and then just click on what you want to move. So that's how this works. To move different things around, just click the layer that you want to move. And then you can move those around. See. Now, it disappeared behind it because the order they're in over here. So if I drag this one up, it comes back. So sometimes you just got to play around a little bit to get familiar with this program, but for most basic graphics, it'll work really well to let you create something on your own. If I wanted to, I could move this over and put an image over here. So let's say I've got an image that I want to add to this. The first step would be to have that image downloaded to my computer already. So make sure you've saved it. And then I go File, Open Image. And we'll find the image that we want. There is Cartoon Me. And click Open. Now I'm going to go to Select All, and then I'm going to go to Copy. I'm going to click back to this image and paste. Now, that particular image is much bigger than it needs to be. So the first thing I need to do is change the size, and you can do that with free transform right here. See how I put the box around it? I can grab one of these blue dots and drag it down to be a different size so that it fits on here. And if I want to put this on top of that line, then I look over here at the order on the layers. Oops, yes, I wanted to apply that change I made. And then I can just drag the layers around, and there I'm on top of it. And if I decide I want that a different size, again, make sure the layer that you want to work with is selected here, and then free transform, and that will let me make myself the size I want to be right there. All right. And then I would go back and edit this so that it's fits in the space. And that might mean making it 2 lines instead of 1 maybe. One thing that this doesn't do, which is kind of annoying, is it doesn't center text. So if I wanted to center that second line, I would have to just put some spaces at the beginning of it until it's about centered. So you can see how I did that. And then I might make a few more adjustments here. Move some things around. So you can see it's just kind of trial and error. You can also do some things here, move your layers around. I gotta put this one on top of the other layer again. There we go. Okay, so that's how you can make a basic banner for your website or your opt-in page or whatever you want to create a graphic for. When you get it the way you want it, which if I were actually going to use this, I would go back to my background and change that color. Ooh, not to white. Now this little dropper, you can go to an image that you have and pick a color from it. So if I really wanted to make it match, I could make a box that is my hair color. All right, so I might do something like that. And then I just go to File, Save, give it a name. And there's some different formats you can save here. For use on your website, you're going to want to choose one of these two, JPEG or PNG. And if you choose JPEG, you can choose the quality. If you make the quality too low, it'll get all grainy and pixely looking. If you go up to 100, it'll be a bigger file size and might take a minute to download, so that's why it sets it at 80 by default. So we'll go back there, and then I would just hit OK to save that to my computer, and from there I can upload it to the web page, the opt-in page, whatever it is I'm working on. The other way that you want to save this, make sure you also save a copy in this format right here, PXD. Save that somewhere that you can find it later, because you can come back to Pixlr, go File, Open, and that will give you this image back just like it is right now, where you can edit the pieces. If you only save it as a JPEG, you will not be able to edit it later. It'll all be one flat image, no layers, and no way to click and change this. So make sure you also save it as a PXD file, and you want both of those formats, one for on your website and one so that you can edit. Okay, I hope this has been helpful and gives you some ideas of how you can use this particular tool to design some graphics for yourself.